Silver and gold are getting clobbered. A big part of the reason why that is happening is because the US dollar is so strong. Why is the dollar so strong? Well, a major contributor is the fact that Europe is in serious trouble. We need to look at what's going on in Europe right now. Can they get these situations straightened out? Because the euro and the UK pound have been crashing against the US dollar, and that's making the price of silver and gold measured in dollars go down, down, down. Let's look at these major events right now in Europe and see what we can find out. And why the heck would we care about Europe anyway? Well, here's why. Number one, they are a major world economic power. When you combine in aggregate all the countries in Europe, they are a major part of the world economy. But more importantly, number two, they are our ally. They are part of the quote unquote Western countries. Their central bank coordinates with our central bank. So when they are going down the tubes, when they are suffering, it's inevitable that the United States and the other Western powers will also feel a great deal of pain. The first thing we have to remember is that Europe is at war. It's easy to kind of forget that that's going on, but there's a major war raging in the Ukraine. With that came sanctions against the Russians. That resulted in Russia cutting off the gas supplies to Europe. That resulted in energy prices going up, in some cases tenfold, which has created runaway inflation in most all of the European Union countries. We got a lot more to talk about, but I wanted to tell you, thank you for deciding to join me here in Ron's Basement. Maybe you are in Europe. Maybe you're in the United States of America. Wherever in the world you are, I honor the fact that you've decided to give me a little of your precious time to join me here in the basement. I put out new content every day. So, hey, you got a friend for life. Welcome, friend. If you enjoy the content, you can subscribe right here. Give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment in the comment section below so we can learn about you and from you. And don't forget, you can share this video with anyone you like. Now let's get back to the pertinent information. So when we look at gold and silver struggling because of a strong dollar, we have to realize that's because the European currencies are in the toilet. It wasn't too long ago that it cost $1.20 US, $1.30 US to get €1. Now it's below $1, like 96 cents. The same thing with the UK British pound. It was like $1.40 almost a year ago. Now it's like $1.07. These currencies have crashed. So what is going on over there? Let's take a deeper look. And a lot of these European countries are giving the United States a run for their money in regards to how much debt they have. They're already struggling with huge debt loads. Then we throw in a war in their backyard and the sanctions and the breakdown in trade and no natural gas, limited energy coming into their countries, and a weaker currency. You can see that things are looking rather dire from an economic perspective all through Europe. And to add insult to injury, at the same time, the United States Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell have engaged in extreme, hawkish, aggressive monetary policy, raising rates in the United States, which put additional downward pressure on the European currencies. And I almost forgot to mention, Europe, like the rest of the world, is still struggling with supply chain issues, a residual from the pandemic that occurred, which further constricts their ability to manufacture products. On top of that, consider the fact that the United States of America is one of the biggest trading partners with most of the European countries, and the United States is going through their own economic contraction as well, a tightening. Man, things just don't look good in Europe or the world for that matter. And the icing on the cake, well, that's political turmoil internally within Europe. There's a new Italian prime minister, Giorgia Meloni, who was just elected over the weekend. She's a uber conservative. It's creating all types of waves within Europe. Hungary is rebelling against a lot of the pro-Western movements that are going on. It's getting ugly on an economic and a political level throughout Europe. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out. What we do know to this point is that the more Europe falls apart, the more powerful generally that the US dollar becomes. That has been a major headwind, more like a hurricane, right? It is hurricane season. It feels like a hurricane that the price of silver and gold are heading into. But we can't forget one thing. The US dollar is comparing itself to the euro. We didn't even talk about the Japanese. They're having their own level of screwiness as well. The dollar might be strong, but some people like to call it the cleanest shirt in the dirty laundry. It's all relative. And in the end, if history repeats itself, if the forces of math in Mother Nature come through, gold and silver will retain their value in however way you want to measure it. It will be brighter days for the precious metals and the mining companies. I'll be here for you through it all. I appreciate you watching this video, being here in the basement with me. Don't forget, you've got a friend for life. You're always welcome here. I'll give you a new video every single day. Until next time, you be well.